Which brings us to the opposite of effortlessly cool.
Someone who, like, at a point was cool, I suppose, for a certain demographic, but with so much effort behind it.
So BG James came unglued after Kevin Nash's longer than scripted promo caused his Impact match to be cut short at the November 9th tapings. Right after this match, Tree Life Crew defeated Jason Static, Justin Cage, and Scotty Matthews. James, who was agitated and in a bad mood even before the taping began, was upset in part because he and Conan were left lying by Team Canada following their match. James showed his frustration in front of fans by throwing his tag title belt into the tunnel before storming backstage.
I have a quick question.
Shoot.
Wasn't BG James the guy who got real mad at Sasha?
Oh, was he? He probably did, yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to reaffirm that.
Once there, he sounded off on Jeff Jarrett, Dutch Mantell, Bob Ryder, and America's Most Wanted. James was upset that Tree Life Crew was left lying by Hall and Nash at the pay-per-view. Although he didn't agree with management's decision to put his team in that position, he was more upset that they were not given a chance to address the attack in an Impact promo. Jarrett told James that he had Trail K take the beating to put heat on the heels, but James said he's sick of his team always being put in that position. When Mantell tried to intervene, James threatened to punch him if he said a word. Mantell quickly walked away. BG James was in fine spirits at the following week's tapings, joking about his meltdown last week. There is more details about this meltdown that are a great deal less flattering.
Here's a little quote from BG James on the Sasha walkout.
Oh, go on.
There was business differences and sorry to announce we had to take the titles from them. We're holding a tournament. You know what I mean? To me, that's how you leave it and you don't air dirty laundry because some of that dirty goes back on you.
Oh, does it now?
Joke's on you, Garrett. He was actually talking about WWE in that quote. He's a Sasha defender all along. Work is right, says Road Dogg. Actually, Garrett, I have a backup quote.
Oh, sure, go for it.
Sasha, same, entertaining young lady, great wrestler, great professional wrestler, but had some stuff in the past where she bucked up against the system a little bit. BG James would never buck up against no system.
No, he's the company man.
Company man through and through.
During his rant at the November 9 TV tapings, BG James was harshest on Bob Ryder, Chris Harris, and James Storm. He sounded off about his team always playing second fiddle to AMW in terms of the way the teams are portrayed in the storylines.
Have you tried being as good as AMW?
No, they never would. He pointed out that AMW get promos and video packages and other perks and are attributed the favoritism to Ryder using his influence to get his favorites a better push, even going so far as to accuse Harris and Storm of granting Ryder sexual favors in exchange for their push.
BG James sucks.
He also, while complaining about the Tree Life Crew push, said that we're pushed like a derogatory gay slur. The problem was, like, there's a lot of people who apparently came up to BG. It's like that needed to be said. It's what, like, throwing slurs and accusations at James Storm and Chris Harris.
I'm sorry that they try and they go out there and they deliver and they get pushed because of it.
It's the thing where, like, it's even kind of the same thing with Hall and Nash, where it's like they get lots of attention. Why don't we get attention? It's like they get attention because they're Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. It's like it's the very same principle with AMW. It's like, why are these guys getting pushed and not us? It's like those guys are getting pushed because they're the best tag team in the history of the company, and they have consistently been the best tag team in the history of the company, and are thus pushed as such. You Tree Life Crew go out there and you can't even have good 5-minute wrestling matches.
But we were stars in 1997.
That's the thing. That's all it comes back to. We used to be stars, and you're not anymore. You have a catchphrase that even, like, the crowd aren't even super into the ladies and gentlemen catchphrase. They don't even give a shit about that in TNA.
Don't worry, Garrett. We're almost at the end.
He told both wrestlers that AMW are over-pushed and overrated and referred to them as Bob Ryder's fluff boys.
BG James hates gay people.
Yeah. Observers do not expect management to fire James, and several wrestlers have vowed to stand up in his defense by meeting with Dixie Carter if anything should happen.
Okay.
Well, there you go. There's a lot more notes in the show notes if you'd like to read more about BG James going off.
Come on, James Storm, can't you just kick his ass?
At the same time BG James was sounding off after his match, Conan and Raven had a brief altercation.
Great. Let's go.
The tension between the two wrestlers had been building for months, as Conan has made it clear that he considers Raven to be a prima donna. After his match, Conan walked backstage where Raven was having a conversation with Jerry Jarrett at the gorilla position. Conan shoved Raven with his shoulder, to which Raven responded with a shove. Chris Daniels grabbed Conan while Raven stood next to Jerry Jarrett. Raven flipped off Conan for the next minute or two, while Daniels and Monty Brown tried to keep Conan cool.
Christopher Daniels, he's always too close to the fight. What can you say?
He's always separating these backstage incidents, isn't he?
But Garrett, why wasn't this gigantic news? And why wasn't everyone calling for every side to be fired? And why was there an internal investigation?
Yeah, at the same time, BG is like lobbing gay slurs backstage and accusing people of doing sexual favors to get their push, even though they're far and away the best team in company history. While Conan is also like getting into it at the very same time with Raven, and like everyone's just like,